Something wrong, Captain?
No, nothing's wrong. In fact, I was just going to call for you. I'm needed down in engineering. The bridge is yours.
Commander Irmont, a word, please.
Of course, Commander. How can I help?
The captain may have been compromised. I have reason to believe he's been bioformed, and is now actively working against us.
Based on what?
Someone is sabotaging the mission. They planted a Taconian device in engineering. Captain Solano was in engineering while we were on Delphi Ardu 4, and he purposely evaded Dr. Duval's bioscan.
You and the captain have been at odds several times. You've disobeyed his direct orders and argued with him in front of the senior staff. However, you always did so out of concern for the crew or adherence to protocol. So I believe what you're saying, as horrible as the implications are. Why trust me with this? There were others you could have confided in. I may not have been the best choice.
In our every interaction, you've been level-headed and kind. Something this sensitive? There was no one else I could turn to.
I would be flattered, were the situation not so dire. When we first met on the starbase, I told you about the accident that took so many of our crew. You said you were sorry for my loss. The captain being bioformed. That's our loss now.
We will survive this. I have Dr. Duval's support for relieving him of command. Once we get a bioscan of Captain Solano, we'll have the proof to make that happen.
He'll never agree to it.
He'll have to, if we confront him publicly. On the bridge. I need you to back me when he tries to refuse it.
You realize this will make you captain, don't you? Are you prepared for that? Especially under these circumstances. In this way.
I hoped I would be captain someday, but I didn't want it to happen like this.
Sometimes greatness is thrust upon you, as they say. You have my support. When do we act?
Now. Dr. Duval is already on the bridge. She'll ask Solano to undergo a bioscan. Then we confront him when he refuses.
Into battle we go.
It's now or never.
Captain Solano.
Commander Rydek, we need to talk about... Doctor? What brings you to the bridge?
Just a bit of housekeeping. You owe me a bioscan, Captain.
I don't have time for that right now.
It will only take a moment. I can't put this off any longer.
You can, and you will. All you'll find is that I'm quite reasonably under stress given the circumstances, and you aren't making it better. I'll find you in sickbay when I'm good and ready. Or, if you're gonna stand in the way of the mission, I can find you in the brig instead.
It's merely protocol, Captain. All officers that touch alien soil have to be bioscanned.
I know the protocol. It's not more important than chasing down these Draconian marauders.
Commander Rydick is right, Captain. The safety of the ship is of paramount importance.
What is this?
We need you to comply with the scan, Captain.
That's enough. Drop this. All of you. I'm giving you a direct order, Commander Rydick. Stand down and go back to your post. Now. Do not make me tell you again. I've been a starship captain since before you were in the Academy.
I refuse. So do the others.
Well then, you've left me no choice. Security to the bridge. Arrest Commander Rydick. Take her to the brig.
On what charge?
Conspiring with the enemy and mutiny.
Wait. With all due respect, Captain, Commander Rydick deserves the chance to defend herself.
You have no say in this, Commander Ermont. Sit down.
I will not.
This is not Captain Solano. He's been bioformed. He's a scion.
You're out of your mind.
She can prove it.
He sabotaged our efforts to track Galvin with this. He planted it in engineering while we were down on Delphi Ardu 4.
Lies! Perpetrated by the only Takan in our midst, Portal 6-3. He's actively trying to divide us from within.
Captain Solano has refused to be bioscanned because he knows it will reveal he's a scion.
Take her to the brig, or I'll do it myself. Oh!
Wait! Stand down! That's an order!
This is outrageous. What is happening? Someone needs to make sense of this right now. We're going to run out of places to stash prisoners.
He's not Captain Solano any longer. We have a duty and responsibility to relieve him of command.
I can't believe this is happening.
I'm going to settle this once and for all.
Commander Rydick was right. Captain Solano has been compromised. He's been bioformed into a Takan.
As the Chief Medical Officer of the USS Resolute, I am relieving Captain Zachary Solano of command.
Take him to the brig.
That could have been so much worse. I hope you're all right.
I'm fine. Are you okay?
It hardly seems real. All I can think right now is that I will miss the captain. I've known him for so long. To lose him like this, it's...
I will miss him too. He was a good man.
one of the best.
Set course for the Usonia system. Maximum warp. It's time to face Galvin.
Yes, Commander. Sorry. Captain. On your command.
Engage. Stations. Shield status.
Set to maximum, but with the algorithms compromised, they may not do much.
Captain, that other Elydian ship is here.
The Zeldi?
We're outnumbered.
Captain, your orders.
Evasive maneuvers.
Aye, Captain.
The Veskar's warp engines are powering up.
Our warp engines are offline.
That must have been their goal. They didn't want us to chase the Veskar.
According to my readings, they also took the Cartabula with them.
They're not breaking off. We have to destroy the Zeldi before it destroys us.
With Diaz and Edsalar still over there?
They'll need to evacuate.
Come on.
Almost have it.
They gotta know we're here. Hurry! You got it?
Got it! Diaz to Resolute!
We read you, Diaz.
This is Ermot. It's good to hear your voice. Is Edsalar? Is she with you? Everyone wants to know.
She's right here. She can tell you herself.
I'm not dead yet.
Very good, Petty Officer.
Can you get us out of here?
I can't transport you out while the Zeldi's shields are up. Our phaser fire won't even get through. Is there another way off that ship?
We'll find a way.
Whatever you do, you'll have to be quick about it. Because we can't give you much more time. We can't evade the Zeldi forever.
Understood. Diaz out. We're gonna have to get out of here the old-fashioned way.
Lydian ships have no escape pods.
We can leave out that cargo bay we transported to before. But then there's the vacuum of space to contend with.
Those freight containers. Maybe we could use those to make an escape pod?
Is that even possible?
We're gonna make it possible. Unless you have a better idea.
Let's go.
I've polarized the hull plating. That should allow us to take a few more hits. Enemy phaser impact dissipated.
Heading, Captain?
Attack pattern Beta 3. Circle around that asteroid and come back firing.
Aye, Captain.
Zeldi, in range.
Fire!
Zeldi's shields down to 82%.
We're doing damage, but they're hitting us right back. We'll run out of hull before we penetrate their shields.
Perhaps I can be of assistance. I can modify your impulse engines to amplify their meager output and avoid more of their attacks. But I will need full access to your propulsion systems.
That goes against dozens of Starfleet regulations.
It's not a security risk if the alternative is destruction.
To me, it's simple. You can take this beating and hope you can weather it. Or will you put your trust in me? I've left everything behind for you. The least you can do is put your faith in me.
Commander Ermot, give Bortle access to the propulsion systems. You're going to have the ship in your hands. Don't let me down.
This will take a moment.
Your ship has let up its fire.
That gives us some time.
All right. One of these freight containers should do the trick.
Be quick.
We need one big enough for all of us to fit inside. Something we can make airtight. Damn it, not this
Not
one.
enough room for the big guy. Oh, here we go. This'll work.
That's great, but it's not airtight yet.
No problem. We'll just seal it up.
This container is extremely heavy. Even with the containment field open, it won't leave the bay quickly. I'll find something to accelerate our exit.
Glancing blow. Very little damage.
I cannot keep this up for long.
Their phaser banks are recharging. Now's our window. We have to strike back.
I agree.
Their next barrage could be our last. Better make this count.
Target their weapon systems. Take the teeth out of their bite.
That could make them run. Just like the Veskar, we'd lose Diaz and Edzelar again. Hit their engines. We've already lost the Veskar.
We need to protect ourselves first.
Target their propulsion systems. I don't want them going anywhere.
Targeting their engines.
Whoa. We gotta move it now.
These will give us the push we need.
Those are explosives.
We'll ride the blast right out of here. All set.
I'll set the containment field to deactivate, and then run back. We can detonate by remote.
We'll need to seal the doors from inside the container once we do.
Before all the air sucks out of the cargo bay.
Just a few more moments.
Hurry! What are they doing in there? Please, help me.
No. Let the Khan get what they deserve.
Don't leave me to die.
I don't know. Can we really leave her?
Look at her, she's not a threat! It's now or never!
This ship can't fly. Sidron set it to self-destruct. Please, Amenta.
Oh,
It's not her.
no. I know it's not.
Carter, we have to seal the doors.
Don't leave me.
Get this light off the ship before Citron blows it all to hell!
Come on! Hurry!
Edzilar to Resolute.
I have the away team.
Go ahead.
We're about to exit.
We see the cargo bay containment field is deactivated.
Get that tractor beam ready. And you should know, the Zeldy is set to self-destruct.
If we do enough damage to the Zeldy first, it'll prevent the self-destruct sequence from completing.
We can't wait any longer. We have to fire.
Captain, they're almost out of there.
We need to act fast.
Hold all fire! Get out of there, Petty Officer. Do it now!
You heard her.
Done!
Ready?
Detonate!
We're out! I have them on sensors. Tractor beam activating.
Locked on and ready to fire.
Fire!
Tractor beam's locked on. We have them. They'll be pulled into the docking bay shortly.
There's something else. I tracked a transporter signal to the planetoid moments before the Zeldy detonated.
Sidron.
There's a Takan structure there. It's the reason they were here. It's the reason we are here. Now.
What's down there?
Answers.
From what I can tell, it's larger than the structure on Tau.
Is this the Takan arsenal Galvin was after?
Legend says this region once held the sacred mysteries of the Takan Empire. Our greatest treasure. Our most fearsome technology.
I want a full security detail. Westbrook, Bredrosian, you're with me. Mr. Ermont, you have the con.
Wait. You're not the first officer anymore. The captain is supposed to stay with the ship. I'm surprised Lieutenant Bedrosian didn't raise that first.
I thought Captain Rydek knew what she was doing.
You're right. But this is too important for me to sit out. You'll just have to make sure nothing happens to me down there.
Of course, Captain.
We'll deal with the first officer vacancy when we return. Until then, Mr. Ermont?
Yes, Captain.
Any sign of Sidron?
Not that I can see.
High alert, everyone. The enemy could be anywhere. Follow my lead.
Let's make this a short mission, all right?
That's the plan.
I'm no security officer. I'll do my best to make sure nothing happens to you, Captain.
I don't see a way in.
Vault in the mines was already open.
There must be some way to activate it.
Portal, can you open it? It is a Taconian vault.
I thought you'd never ask. You're welcome. Better to keep it simple. Sometimes the answer is staring you right in the face.
Thank you. Definitely easier this way. Spread out. Let's see what we can find. And stay on high alert. We don't know where the Takan that beamed down here could be.
You will need my help, Commander.
How so?
Traversal here is trivial for a Takan, but only a Takan. When you come across a device you cannot use, merely call my name.
Will do. Thank you. This pattern resembles the transporter device Petty Officer Maris used to escape the Resolute. Portal 6-3?
You wish to make use of this device?
It's a transporter of some kind?
It allows Takan to move through space instantly a short distance. Very convenient. I will activate the system for you.
Where does it go?
I'm not sure. The markings here must be from after my time.
Well, only one way to find out. Soil. Just soil. It's not from this planet, nor any planet in the Federation database. Why is this here?
This is soil from the homeworld. capital system. This isn't an arsenal. It's a temple of the ancients. Sacred ground to the Takon. I took my oath as a guardian of the Empire in a place just like this. You cannot imagine the look of pride in my parents' eyes as they said goodbye. Forever. Sorry. This is the first I've seen of anything new from the Takon Empire in a very long time. I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling, that sense of loss. I thought I was ready for it, but it cuts to the core of your being.
I totally understand that feeling. It's unavoidable and inescapable no matter what you do.
Yes, it's that distant but familiar feeling that's forever just out of reach.
Can you use this to find out more about what Galvin is after?
The information's encrypted. I can only discern that it's a warship. No. It's the Aphelion. Perhaps the most powerful Takonian ship ever built. I can't access the full file, but looking through the ship's schematics, it appears to be equipped with some sort of experimental, highly advanced transporter technology.
Transporter technology? For what?
Captain, you better come see this. There are more up ahead.
From the looks of it, I'd say someone left in a hurry.
Probably right around the time we showed up.
I've seen these before, in the other vault. And if all of those are the same as this, then there must be...
Hundreds of millions, if not billions. All that remains of the Takon civilization. Distinct person, encapsulated in crystalline form. Preserved for all eternity.
You thought this was an arsenal. And in a way, you're right. This is how they rebuild the Takon Empire, and bioform billions of innocent people.
That seems to be the case. What you have to understand is, these life forms were preserved for the benefit of the Takon civilization, as a means of safeguarding the health and well-being of any Takon, should they fall prey to illness or injury. They were never intended to be used for this purpose.
There you are wrong. This was always their purpose, to restore the glory that was lost. Congratulations on your first victory in battle, Captain RetGamester. You killed a great many of my compatriots, some that I've known for millennia. Are you proud of how much death you've caused? Each Tekkan life is precious, irreplaceable. Centuries of knowledge and culture, lost with each one you murder.
Your friends died because of you. If you hadn't attacked us, there could have been a peaceful solution.
I've seen the kind of results diplomacy gets in this era. You can hardly blame me for wanting a quicker result. Thankfully, I don't have to convince you of anything. We'll all be on the same side soon enough.
You can't just bioform whoever you want. Not without a fight.
Ah, but that's just it. There won't be a fight. In fact, most won't even know what's happened. One minute you're standing there as you. The next, you're standing here as one of us.
He's talking about mass transformation. That's what the Aphelion was built for.
The transporter. It'll reconstitute your DNA and bioform you into a Tekkan in the blink of an eye. This is what they'll use as ammunition.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Of course, that's the simple version. But the end result will be the same.
Your time has passed. The Tekkan Empire is gone.
Only to be reborn better and stronger than it ever was. The Aphelion is on its way here as we speak. Now it's only a matter of time. You can't delay that which is inevitable. Which makes your next decision fairly simple, brother. You are, after all, a portal.
I am.
Your sole purpose is to serve as a guardian of the Tekkan Empire. But you stand here surrounded not by your fellow Tekkan, but by members of the Federation. By people who deny our fundamental right to exist. You swore an oath to protect the Empire. And I can only assume that's why you're here.
There is only one true Tekkan here, and that's Portal. You're a scion, a disgrace to the memory of the Tekkan, brought back through unnatural means.
I only tolerate your presence so long as you continue to amuse me. Which side are you on?
Captain Rydek, long-range sensors suggest a massive spacecraft approaching in the distance.
The time has come. I hope we speak again, brother.
Estimated time to contact, 6 minutes and counting.
We can't stay here. We have to get back to the ship.
And we have to preserve these souls. We must take them back to your ship.
Those crystals are ammunition to be used against us. We have to destroy them. Bombard the site from orbit.
I'll decide, once we're safely aboard the Resolute. 4 to transport.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I lost my eyes because of you. And still, I've always stood by you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forced into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solano. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
2 minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain.
On screen.
Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are TREK, not science. TREK. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
Transport the storage crystals aboard the Resolute.
Did I hear that right?
That's an order.
The storage crystals are on board in our cargo bay.
Thank you. I won't forget this.
I hope you realize what you've done. We don't need another captain who's gonna risk our lives just to feed their ego. This ship and this crew come first.
Lieutenant.
She has to hear it.
This isn't about me. It's our duty as Starfleet officers to protect life, wherever and however we find it. And I couldn't let them fall into Galvin and Sidron's hands. I had to do it this way.
And to think, I used to look up to you.
The Aphelion is targeting us, approaching rapidly.
They hit us with that bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now!
There they are!
Thank you. I'm not sure one of my kind would have done for you what you did for me. I did not expect a show of mercy. I hoped, but you could have just as easily left me to my fate.
I didn't do it for you. I did it because it was the right thing to do.
I don't understand it, but I'm glad you did.
Now that we're safe on your ship, I think you were right to bring her. Things seem a little different now than they did in the heat of battle. There's more than one way to deal with messy situations.
Just because we're back on the Resolute doesn't mean we're safe yet.
Look, this is good. Don't lose sight of that.
No surprises here. But your shoulder's separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
You're really making us proud out there, Diaz. The lower decks don't get a lot of glory.
Well, I'm just getting started. She was a good little escape pod. Not that I want another ride like that anytime soon.
Diaz.
Yeah?
Did you see our people over there? Miranda?
Kapoor, Hauser?
We saw Miranda and Kapoor, but they're bioformed. And as far as I know, there's no way to undo it.
It means they're not our friends anymore.
If they attack us?
We'll have to stop them. No matter what it takes.
Yeah. I guess we have to be ready for that.
Tell me, did any crew from the Zeldi survive?
Well, since the Lydian ships have no escape pods, I think it was just us.
I see. I thought so. I had a partner on board. After this mission, she and I were meant to. Doesn't matter. All that matters now is making the Tekon pay for what they've done.
We'll stop them. I promise.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chobok. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna hear about it from him. Let's just go get it over with.
After all we've survived, you're still a pessimist, huh?
I can't believe it! You evaded the Tekon, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it!
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
The Academy? Oh, well, I wouldn't know about that.
After this, you'll probably get a personal invitation to show them how it's done. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda?
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Tekon. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
I guess there's never a dull moment around here, huh?
You telling me it's not always like this?
Not if we can help it.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
No, it was not.
But it was my sincere hope you would.
It is agreeable to see you as well, sir.
I concur.
You should know your absence has left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularity going around.
Seems like you could use some help around here. We're ready to go to work.
I'd like to catch my breath for at least a few minutes, Carter.
Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldi, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action. You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
I tended to an Elydian earlier. Major Starlet Arminta.
Ah, yes. I met him at the negotiations.
I never would have imagined I'd be here, on the same ship, working together with our oppressors. But now that I am, I can imagine a future where the Hotari and Elydians are no longer enemies. I'd always hoped for peace, but it seems so far away. There's still a lot of bad blood.
Peace is often fleeting. If there's a chance, you should take it.
Peace with our former enemies may be hard for some to accept, but it's what my people need.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. Personally, I'm against the needless destruction of innocent life forms, so I'm glad you transported the Taconian crystals onto the ship. But Lieutenant Bedrosian obviously feels otherwise. And right now, you need the full support of your bridge crew. Being an effective leader requires trust, but an issue as divisive as this can create discord.
I still need and value contrary opinions. I don't want everyone agreeing with me when they feel otherwise.
Oh, you'll know when Lieutenant Bedrosian doesn't agree with something. She's not shy about making her opinion known. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. You'll have to work to regain Lieutenant Bedrosian's trust, but if she's removed from consideration, it comes down to Westbrook or Ermot. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each, but ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Ermot has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified. You really couldn't go wrong with either of them.
I don't mind saying I consider Commander Ermot a strong candidate for the role.
He'd be a popular choice with the crew, and bring a steadiness to the position that others might lack. Certainly not a controversial choice, but then some may perceive that as playing it safe. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
Captain.
I'll meet you inside.
I'm here to officially tender my resignation from the crew of the USS Resolute. I cannot in good conscience continue to serve aboard this ship, not while the interests of the enemy take precedent over the safety of the crew.
Lieutenant, we both know how much we need your help and expertise for the coming conflict. I have no one to replace you.
I understand, Captain, and I apologize, but my heart is not in it any longer, and to stay would be a disservice to us both.
My door is always open if you change your mind.
I appreciate that.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Ermot.
I'll notify Lieutenant Bedrosian we're about to begin.
That won't be necessary.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
Excellent idea, Mr. Chovak. They deserve to be here.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsalar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
Well, there were way more people involved than just me. Not only Petty Officer Edsalar, but we had help from an Elydian officer named Arminta as well.
Interesting.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Reindeck, Your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Tekkan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage. Of course, you know that as well as I do.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution, but the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming, one-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
You may not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And it might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
You say that it slows the process, but this doesn't actually stop the Tekkan from taking over, does it?
Correct. I can't be 100% certain, but it appears this is only a short-term solution. Also, it requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question, what is the mission?
Assuming the Aphelion uses shields of some kind, I don't expect it will be easy to bypass their defenses.
We may not be able to block the Aphelions' attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
So we could destroy it from the inside.
I'm not exactly sure how, but that's the idea.
I think Portal could still help us. If he can't get a first-hand look at the Aphelion, he might be able to identify a weakness.
After sparing the remnants of his civilization, I should hope he'd help us.
He will.
We'll need to prepare a boarding party, if it comes to that.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't like the engineering mission that took you to the Zeldi. Do you really have some special insights that a tactical team wouldn't?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
Sabotage is kind of becoming our specialty. We'll find a way to get the job done.
Well, he certainly has the swagger for it.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
With the help of Portal. He should be part of the away team.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Tekon tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. I have faith in all of you to meet this moment with the urgency it requires. I expect all of us to give it everything we've got. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Charlie. 3. Yankee.
Captain's codes transferred. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
It is an honor and a pleasure to name Commander Westbrook as my new first officer.
Thank you, Captain. You made the right choice.
Congratulations, Commander. It's long overdue.
I know we've had our differences, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate this.
Computer, Commander Westbrook is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain, could I have a word with you?
Give me a minute.
Look, I respect your decision, Captain. Commander Westbrook has seniority, and I can understand why you might have felt pressure to promote him. But what I can't understand is why you would choose someone so clearly unsuited for the position. It's the very reason why Captain Solano chose you over him. Because he knew Westbrook as first officer would be disastrous.
I know you're disappointed, but I trust his experience. And I need to rely on him now more than ever.
But that's just it. We can't afford to make any mistakes. And that's my concern with Commander Westbrook. Maybe I've had it wrong this whole time. But I thought we've had an excellent working relationship almost from the moment you first arrived. You trusted me with the information about Captain Solano being compromised, and I trusted you in return. In fact, I've always supported you, which is certainly more than you can say about Westbrook. He was always against you, especially with regard to Captain Solano.
Look, I'll be honest. I can't do this without your help. You're one of the best officers we've got, and I need you by my side. Otherwise, we don't have a chance against Galvin. It's as simple as that.
And I'll be there when you need me. Just like I always have.